Right folks, this is the next instalment of French Farmhouse Diaries, and we're going to be talking today about a little few questions that people have asked us. We're not going to do this in every video, you know, sit here and talk to you before we start. You'll probably get bored of that lot, but it's just about a few questions people have asked us, like things like my name. They're a bit confused. Some people have heard Hans and some people have heard Budo. My name is Hans, my real Christian name, but my nickname is Budo. A lot of people that are close to me and my friends call me Budo, and that's where that comes from. There was a question about Normandy, Trace.
Yes, there was. Why did we choose Normandy? We chose Normandy because it's not that far from the UK for us to travel back to see our family, and also it's just absolutely beautiful here. We've looked in quite a few places in France, but just love the forests, the landscape, and obviously the houses that you get. And we were looking, weren't we, for a farmhouse with outbuildings and land.
Yeah, and the other thing was the fact that it's got, I mean, it's virtually oak everywhere, and it's oak trees everywhere. Beautiful. It's beautiful rolling hills, lots and lots of history. Goes right back to the Vikings, coming through to the Normans, and then obviously right up, well, even at Agincourt, the Brits against the French. Then you had that's the Days of the Knights, sorry, and then you've got the Second World War history, a lot of American history around here from the Americans when they were pushing forward. We're not far from Caen, where the Brits landed, and they were held up hard on the Caen at the beach there for a while to try and break out. And you know, it's just so much history. It's abundant. There's abbeys everywhere. There's beautiful villages. We live
Bracontes as well.
Yeah, Bracontes. But we live, don't we, virtually, well, 3 or 4 villages, towns really, little towns around us. Lucky. We're sort of in the middle, out in the middle of nowhere, and it's lovely. It's just a beautiful place, you know. We had various other questions. I tried to ask them directly, answer them, sorry, direct to people. But anyway, so when we do this bit, we're going to call this now Caravan Corner. So if we say we're going to do a caravan corner, that means we're sitting in the corner of our caravan. We're going to have a little chat with you guys, and then we'll move on.
With a cup of tea.
Yeah, nice cup of tea, and then we'll move on to you know, showing you a little video we've done for that day or the week. We're going to hope to put out at least one video a week for you guys. There seems to be a lot of interest. But one of the main things we want to do today was we want to give a big shout out to Chateau de la Salle, that's it, which is Terry, Ashley, their mum, or his mum, Terry's mum, which is Tracy and Tony's dad, and to say thank you very much for, like, you know, mentioning us, didn't they? Yeah, yes. Mentioned us, and from that, there's loads and loads of subscribers have joined us, and we're really, you know, really excited about you coming along on board and joining us. And you know, going forward, we're going to try and do as best the content we can possibly manage, because we're not professionals at this, we're just having a go. we'll do the best we can for you and try and make it as interesting as possible. And we'd love to hear your opinions of what you'd like to see and things like that. And we will try and answer most of your questions. Bearing in mind there's over 2,000 of you now, so that's going to take a bit of work, isn't it, Trey?
We have to allocate certain times, more evening times, but we can sit down, reply to all your messages, and so just bear with us.
Yep. Anyway, today is going to be a little video of Tracy and the work she done on the oak beam, the main one. We have about 6 or 7 beams to go through eventually in this property. And then after that we'll have there'll be a little, whichever way round it is, there'll be a video of me cleaning Tomette tiles, which are a terracotta small tile that's very popular in France, especially up here in Normandy. And we'll go from there. But anyway, watch and enjoy. Yeah, and
we'll
thanks
have a
for joining
chat soon.
us. Bye.
Bye.
Hi Trace.
Bonjour, Budo.
So tell us what you've been doing with this beam.
Right, what I've done is I've removed all the laths and the old plaster. As you can see, there's stain in here where obviously the old laths have been.
Yeah, I'll zoom up there in a minute.
Then I used a far tool which has a brush on it, a wire brush, and I removed all the old wax. As you can see, in some areas, which we call the sapwood, this is quite soft. Obviously this part is harder, and that's normally where the woodworm and death watch beetle attack the beam. So my next job is to fill all the holes, the nail holes, and all the holes that have been made from the woodworm. It's also had 3 coats of pesticide treatment, so we know now there's no traces of woodworm.
Insecticide, you mean?
Sorry, insecticide.
There's
so much to take in, because obviously we've had no dust on the floor.
Yeah.
So I'll fill all the holes with wood filler. Once that's hardened off, then I'll sand it all back. Just make sure everything is okay, and then we'll wax it, probably maybe with a bry wax or a Luberon wax. And that'll make it smell lovely, I would think. Yeah,
all right, cool. So we'll show the one in the hall anyway.
Yes.
And we'll go from there. Well done anyway, it's looking good.
It is. It will be when it's all finished, and when
definitely.
I get all the
and you've got that all
done.
to do again downstairs.
Yes,
and
downstairs.
Downstairs in the front room.
Yes,
of this part of the house. We've got 2 in there, and then you've got the new beams we'll be putting into the kitchen eventually.
Yes.
And there's a beam in the man cave, so you're gonna be beaming me up, Scotty.
I'm going to be doing a lot of treatment.
Yeah.
Just before we go, I just want to show everyone this tool. Oops.
If you come a bit closer with it, Trace, so they can see it too.
Can you see the wire brush?
Yeah. So point to that bit where the bit that rotates there, Trey.
This bit here?
This big brass. It's a big brass 4-inch wheel. Turn it to the side. Let's sway it a bit. That's it. So people can see it.
And lever just pushes in. It is actually quite heavy, but I found if you hold it in the right position, but obviously...
Well, the thing is with that tool, it doesn't rotate too fast.
No.
That it jumps about. It's got a nice speed, and you can just lay onto it like it's a sander, an orbital sander, and it tears away and pulls all the old varnishes and wax off of that.
Where I find with the angle grinder, that is like a Tasmanian devil on steroids, I
Yeah.
think.
Anyway,
it's a bit different. Okay.
That's a good tool, that is. Yeah,
yes, very good.
You'll be seeing that in the future when we're using it on other projects as well.
I do recommend it.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's the beam we was just talking about coming out of the room now through this stud work. We're going to try and get some focus here because we're quite close. And this is a little bit more beaten up, isn't it, Trace?
Yeah, this one was, and it was a little bit tricky, as you see down here. Just above
down
here,
that edge,
because there wasn't a lot of space, so I had to use the small angle grinder with the wire brush, but it's in similar condition really to that one, so I'm just going to repeat the same process out in the hall.
Out the hall, like,
That's what I did here. And these hooks, did we say we're going to clean them up and maybe paint them black? I think we should keep them.
I don't know, we'll have a look, see how they come up.
Yeah.
I mean, We've got another one in the room, haven't we?
Yes, that's one on that side there.
Yeah.
If you can focus in.
I can see that one. Well, that'd be over the bed, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that's where we could put the handcuffs, I suppose. Bleep that one out. All right, sweetheart, well done.
But now, my next job is I've just started pointing here.
Around here. I might not be able to go round because of the light from the window. It might focus. Yeah, we go.
I've just started over this side. Look.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So you're back onto the pointing today, aren't you?
Yes, and I've just, if you look, I've just done the top face of the beam because you're going to box the bottom bit in, aren't you, when you build the new window?
Yeah, on that wooden beam above there.
Can't really see.
Yeah, I can just see it. It's just focusing, but we get our new phones and we can sort that problem out.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, that's it for now. So, a few months ago in the summer, we bought a job lot of these tiles. They are called Tomettes in France. They're a thick clay tile, you know, to put on floors. But when we bought them, they came out of a big old French house where the floors were bowing, and they just took them up as if they were going to throw them out basically, but they decided to keep them instead of breaking them and sell them on. And we bought them in this state, so you can see they're covered in like a lime cement, and on the surface, on the top here, you can see they're covered in like a latex floor covering that they put down as a level text of some sort. Well, I'm going to show you a process how I clean these all up using a hydrochloric acid, and in France it's there. I won't even pronounce that. Anyway, these are the tiles, more of them. We got in total 2,380, and I'll show you some pictures in a minute of the ones we've completed. There's some there I've just completed, and let me give you a nice close-up of the tiles and what they look like. So they're a nice thick tile, got like a matty surface to them, bit bumpy, bit, you know, rustic looking. And if you can see down the edge, they're sort of slightly tapered in. So that's your bottom side, top side, and that's how they finish up when I've got them prepped and clean, ready to go down. And then when I put them together, let me just get another one, I'll show you quickly, to give you an idea. So when I put them down and lay them, I'm going to keep them with a nice joint like that, probably around about that sort of thickness, the thickness of my finger, maybe the tip of my finger. And then we'll fill that in with lime, what they call it, pointing, no, not pointing, it's called something, isn't it? I forgot, it'll come back to me in a minute anyway. But we'll fill this in with a lime just to set it off, and then the floor will be linseed oiled on top of this, probably about 3 or 4 coats. First coat being diluted a little bit with some white spirit, or you know, something similar. Anyway, let's show you the process of how I get them clean. So then, let's show you how I clean these tiles up. I'll show you first some of the tools you need. I use it's an old putty knife basically. It's quite heavy, sharpish edge, and it knocks off this cement off here. I also use a wooden bristle brush for cleaning the tile. Then I'll have a little pot and a brush that can cope with acid, being, you know, without the bristles all falling off. And then I'll use some hydrochloric acid. I don't know how to say it in French, but it's I ain't even gonna say it. Right. Anyway, so the first thing to do is I'll pick up one of the tiles off of here, and it's got all the cement on here and down the edges. All right, so I'll just start with tapping this tool flat against the surface and chipping away. It's a laborious job. Normally I have a bit of music playing and just get lost in the moment, if you like. Anyway, get it off like that, give it a little scrape, and go around the edges, clear them down, and eventually you get into some sort of mode and the day ticks by as you're doing it. Anyway, so we get to that stage. So it's now cleared off with all the cement. It's just dirty now. And what I do is I get the acid and I'll put it onto the tile. Be generous, put it on. Make sure it dribbles down the edges a little bit. Okay. Now, when I'm doing it in the real world, if you like, because I'm just showing you, but I'll have on this table here, I'll have say 12 laid out at the same time, done like to this stage. Put the acid on 12 of them. Then I'll move over to here, I'll start chipping away again for 3 or 4, then I'll go back to the acid ones and start cleaning them down. So I normally leave them about 5 minutes or something like that. And you can see it starts to dry, the acid anyway. It's sort of absorbing itself in, it's going through the top layer of fine dust cement just to clear it that way, but it gives us something to key the brush to wipe it off. So what I'll do now is, I know I've sped up a little bit, but I'll show you. I'm going to clean half this tile and see how half comes up with the acid on and after I've put the water on. Here I've got a bucket of water and I dip the tile in and start to scrub. Creates like a little bit of a slurry. You can see the dirt coming off. And then once I've done that, I dip it again. Now you can see, hopefully, that this side I've done, and this side's still got the acid on. Okay, so it does come up lovely and clean when they're done. So I'll just finish this one off. Now, before I finish with this tile, so that, you know, so it's ready to be laid, this is the stage now where I'll check if there's little snots of latex or floor leveling compound that they've put on here, or old lime on the sides, and there is. I can see there's a couple, so I'll just get my tool, dig it in, because these tiles are very robust, these Tomette tiles. They're a clay tile. These are probably about 150 years old maybe, according to the people we got them off of anyway. They seem to believe it was about that sort of time. Then I'll get the brush again, go back into the water, give it another visual inspection that I'm happy with, and then that would go on the pile there to dry. These ones are all ready to go for dry. And basically it's that, it's as easy as that. The most important thing though is the tools, obviously, and these gloves. These gloves are not just washing up gloves that you normally use if you're washing the dishes. These gloves are proper chemical protective gloves. They cost a little bit more. They've got a special liner inside them and they stop the acid going through, which will burn you. You should wear glasses really. Can't find mine, can't locate them, it's my bad. But anyway, and that is it really. Hope you enjoyed that. Here's some more of these Tomette tiles that I've cleaned up. These are now in the front room area and are ready to be laid. There's over 600 I've done there, but we've still got about 1500 or 1600 or more outside to be cleaned. But there's nearly enough in here now to actually do the whole of this floor. Sorry, can't show it because it's just a mess at the moment. But that'll be a nice project for you to watch when I start to lay those. First of all, I've got to put an underfloor heating down, electric underfloor heating, then I'm going to put these on top. Okay.